Alright, Shalom. Before I begin, I'd like to start out by giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh, and double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone who teach this 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elected being in the house of David. Today is June the 23rd, year 2025, the hopeful year of our deliverance. Alright, the hour being the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans through the seed of our fathers. Alright, as well as judgment and destruction to the so-called self-proclaimed white nation, which they're not white, they're red. Alright, according to the Bible, they're the Hebrew Edomites. Alright, the wicked the Bible speaks of. Alright, just flowing in the spirit. Alright, just wanted to read a couple of scriptures. Again, I do this when I get off work sometimes. I don't even like to go in the crib without, doing something that's, saying Lord willing, edifying. So today's topic start right here in Baruch chapter 4 at verse 1. It says, This is the book of the commandments of the Most High Yahweh, and the law that endureth forever. All that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Alright, and on this side, only the elect is going to be saved. Alright, and they were preordained, predestined in the heavens. Alright, to be saved. Alright, 2/3 of our people that reside over here in Babylon the Great, aka America, they're gonna get put to death over here. Alright, they're not written in the book of life ultimately. Alright, verse 2, it say, Turn thee, O Jacob, and take hold of it. Walk in the presence of the light thereof, that thou mayest be illuminated. Alright, because the elect is the real Illuminati, if you want to be technical. On the right hand side, alright, Esau got his illuminated ones on the left hand, but Yahweh Shai has his illuminated ones on the right hand. Alright, the real Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? The 144,000 governors, alright, of Israel that the Lord is going to choose, 12,000 from each tribe. Alright, say those are going to be, the governors under the 12, apostles, alright, under Yahweh Shai, That's how this thing is going to be put back together once the Lord comes and takes it apart. Alright, this earth and this rulership and this vibration. Alright, this reign, this eon of the Edomite, it has to be exterminated, and the Lord is coming to do exactly that. As it tells you in Isaiah 63 and verse 1, who is this that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra, traveling in the greatness of his strength? The Lord is coming back, alright, in a gigantic chariot, alright, a so-called UFO. Alright, and he's coming back with the host of angels, of the host of heaven with him as well, which is the angels, and they're going to be in chariots as well, 20,000, even thousands of chariots. Alright, and they're going to make war with these nations. Alright, as you see what's going down, alright, over there in the Middle East, so-called Middle East now. Alright, between Iran and Israel. Alright, that's going to bring in America, which America's already got in it because they bombed some of the Iranian nuclear bunkers. Alright, but that's going to lead to Russia and China, alright, being a guard to these other countries. Alright, and Iran is one of them. Alright, so these things are coming. Alright, and when the Lord comes back, he's going to take all them militaries down. Alright, all of them. They're going to stop fighting each other during World War III. Alright, and they're going to turn and try to fight the holy host of angels, alright, with Yahweh Shai. Alright, and they're going to lose horrifically. Alright, they're not going to get one win. Alright, they're going to take all L's. Alright, verse 3, Give not thine honor to another, nor the things that are profitable unto thee to a strange nation. But 2/3 of our people, that's what they do. Alright, the word of the Lord comes out in its purest, truest form. Alright, and these niggas slap it away. Alright, they don't want it unless Esau can be a partaker in it. Alright, they don't want the blessing unless they can share it with the wicked. Alright, and that's why 2/3 of our people are considered wicked as well. Alright, what they tell you in Daniel chapter 12 and verse 10, many shall be made purified and white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand. So 2/3 of our people, that's them. Alright, verse 4, O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to Yahweh Shai power are made known unto us. Alright, and again, on this side is only for the elect. Alright, the things that we know Yahweh Shai is coming to do, all right, are pleasing to hear. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look, only an elect spirit would be thrilled to hear that the Lord is coming back to put all the nations into captivity under the Israelites. All right, you have to have a different spirit to be rejoicing at that. All right, you know, hell, you got to be in a different spirit to rejoice at knowing that 2 out of 3 of our people got to die because they wicked as shit, you know, and can't do nothing with them. And it's actually a blessing because, you know, they need to be reborn in their right minds. And the only way that can happen is if the kingdom of heaven is established. All right, so, you know, these things only the elect can be cheerful of, all right, and there's many more. All right, you know, looking forward to having slaves, all right, you know what I'm saying, concubines, you know what I'm saying, land, all right, a new body first and foremost, a new body that don't sin and that don't go off, all right, you know, those are the things that the elect want, all right, and they're going to do everything they can to obtain it, all right. Verse 5, be of good cheer, my people, the memorial of Israel. Verse 6, you were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved Yahweh Bashim power to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemies. All right, and that's plural. All right, more than one. All right, we were under captivity under all these nations. All right, you know, Esau is the one that furthered the affliction and took the shit to a whole nother level, all right, a whole nother extreme. But all these nations, all right, have put their hands on the Lord's people. And that's why all these nations got a 1,000-year sentence of slavery coming their way, all right? You know, but ultimately, you know, we as Israelites provoked the Lord to do this to us, all right, because, you know, we was living foul, all right? We was being spiritual adulterers, all right, worshiping other gods, all right? We was doing all type of shit, you know, and the Lord punished us. And it didn't feel good, all right? We're yet this day in that punishment, but we see we at the end of it, all right? But nevertheless, we had to go through it to get to it, all right? Verse 7, for ye provoked him that made you by sacrificing unto devils, and not to you. How about Shemel power? All right, again, that's what I was just saying, you know. Man, all the different gods that Jake was into, you know what I'm saying, in the ancient times, all right. Molech is the one that comes to my mind right off the top, but it's many more. All right, you know, it's way more, you know. Serapis, Christus, all right, Jake was worshiping that during the Roman captivity, all right, you know what I'm saying, going all the way back to the Greeks and the Romans, all right, so we've been going off for a long time, all right, and even before then, all right, coming out of Egypt, all right, our first captivity, all right, we wasn't even in the wilderness for, we wasn't even in the wilderness a good 3-4 months, all right, and niggas was already pressing up on Aaron to build a golden calf for them to worship, all right, while Moses was, you know what I'm saying, getting the commandments. You know, our people, we just been fucked up a long time. All right, and the Lord wanted it that way, you know, for us to appreciate what we see coming now. All right, but only the elect can obtain this, and the rest is blinded. All right, the elect see the error and the things that we've done and all of that. So now let me jump down to verse 8. It said, ye have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nourished you. All right, again, these niggas don't remember that. All right, how the Lord delivered all of the house of Israel. All right, put plagues on them Egyptians. All right, you know what I'm saying, killed all their firstborn sons, the firstborn of their cattle. All right, turned the water into blood. All right, just plagued it, turned the lights out, had it, you know what I'm saying, dark. You know what I'm saying, but it was light in Israel's tents. You know what I'm saying, the Lord did all of that. But our people act like they don't know. They don't remember. All right, that's why the Lord said, we provoked them to anger. All right, you niggas still do it to this day. All right. Verse 9, for when she saw the wrath of Yahweh Shall power coming upon you, she said, hearken, all ye that dwell about Zion. Yahweh Shall power had brought upon me great mourning. Let's see, verse 10, for I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. All right, the Lord brought these judgments on us. All right, it didn't happen by coincidence. All right, you know, the Lord wanted this to happen. All right, Verse 11, with joy did I nourish them, but sent them out away with weeping and mourning. All right, what did it tell you in Deuteronomy 28? Thy land thou shalt see it no more again. All right, and thou shalt be brought to another land and sold for bondman and bondwoman, and no man shall redeem thee. All right, this is part of the curses. All right, in Deuteronomy 28. All right, verse 12, let no man rejoice over me, a widow and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of Yahweh Shem Yahweh power. All right, verse 13, they knew not his statutes, nor walked in the ways of his commandments, nor trod in the paths of discipline in his righteousness. Let them that dwell about Zion come, and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting have brought upon them. All right, because again, we broke the law, statutes, and commandments. All right. Verse 15, for he had brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and a strong, for he had brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language, who neither received old man nor pitied child. All right, and that's these Edomites. All right, you read Deuteronomy 28, again, as I was quoting on, I think it's verse 50, it said, the Lord shall bring a fierce nation upon thee. Let me get it right quick. Deuteronomy 28, and I think it's 50. But it's talking about the Edomites, all right? As swift as the eagle flieth, that goes into Esau as, all right? Deuteronomy 28, in verse 49, excuse me, in verse 49, it say, the Lord, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. These are the Edomites. All right, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. All right, that's the Edomites. All right, you see what, if you have seen, you know what I'm saying, Roots. All right, an old documentary depiction of, just a small version of what went down during, you know what I'm saying, slavery for the Southern Kingdom. All right, and you see what them devils was doing. All right, raping a woman. All right, putting the children to work as soon as they able to, you know what I'm saying, start walking and doing shit, put them to work. All right, work the old jakes to death. All right, you know what I'm saying, marring them, all of that shit, everything. Esau did all type of shit, and that's just the stuff that we could see that he's done. This shit this devil did that we don't even know about. All right, you know what I mean? Read verse 16. They have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone desolate without daughters. All right, they came and got the Southern Kingdom, all right, and what's known as the transatlantic slave trade, which they say kicked off around 1619, which I'm sure it was before that, but on the books they got it as starting in 1619. All right, but before that they came over here, all right, and took down the Northern Kingdom, all right, the so-called Native American tribes, all right, and the Latinos and Mexicans and all of them, they came over here and took them down, all right, put them in slavery, put them on ships and sold them around the world too, all right, They was the Northern Kingdom was brought on slave ships and sold to Portugal and all different places, all right. Esau, man, this is a diabolical devil, all right. But again, the Lord gave us into his hand, all right? But that devil furthered the affliction. All right, the Lord said, I was wroth with my people, all right? But you devils, you took it too far, all right? And that's why Esau has no place of repentance with the Lord, all right? Esau has no mercy coming from the Lord, all right? You know what I'm saying? When Yahweh Shah was on the scene, all right, them Edomites, they destroyed him, all right? Well, you niggas gave him up to be destroyed, all right? But Esau was the ruling nation at that time, all right? And 2/3 of our people, that's another reason these niggas gotta die, because they was for that shit. They said, we have no king but Caesar. Let his blood be upon them and their children, all right? You know what I mean? Because, man, Jake is a wicked piece of shit, all right? Let me see, verse 18. For he had brought these plagues upon you. Let me see, for he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies. All right. Yahweh Shem Shah is going to deliver us. All right. Go your way, O my children. Go your way, for I am left desolate. All right. See verse 21. I have put off the clothing of peace and put upon me the sackcloth of my prayer. I will cry unto the everlasting in my days. Verse 21. Be of good cheer, O my children. Cry unto the Lord, and he will deliver you from the power and hand of your enemies. All right. Starting with Esau. Verse 22. For my hope is in the everlasting, that he will save you. And joy is come unto me from the Holy One, because of the mercy which shall soon come unto you from the everlasting, our Savior. All right. This is for the elect on this side. All right. 2/3, again, they got to learn it, death by pain. All right. And they'll, get this in the kingdom. All right. Verse 23, for I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh power, will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. All right. That's what we're looking forward to. All right. To be reunited with our power. All right. Verse 24. Like as now the neighbors of Sion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting. All right. Because the Lord is coming back again in that big giant chariot, and he's going to beam his elect up from the four corners of the earth. He's going to beam them up into that chariot. All right. And the whole world is going to see it. All right. They're going to see the elect go up. All right. And change these bodies, come out of these bodies and go into the ship. All right. Because these bodies aren't leaving. All right. In the air, these bodies are going to be shredded ultimately. And the spirit is going to go into the new body. All right. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be changed into our new body. All right. These bodies of sin and wickedness, they stay here. All right. Verse 25, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai power. For thine enemy hath persecuted thee, or shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shall tread upon his neck. All right. You know what I'm saying? We're going to put our foot on these red necks. All right. Verse 26, my delicate ones have gone through rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. All right, the delicate ones are the elect of the Lord. All right. Verse 27, be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto the Lord. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto Yahweh Shem Yahweh power. For ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For as it were your mind to go astray from Yahweh Shem Yahweh power, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. All right, and that's where these lessons, these epistles, all right, even when you ain't, you know what I'm saying, talking about the men, but even when you ain't doing that, just meditating and keeping the Lord at the forefront of everything, all right, seek the Lord 10 times more, all right, we can never go far enough, all right, we can never go far, we can never do enough, all right, the Lord said he's saving us for his name's sake, all right, not for nothing that we did, it's for his name's sake, all right, because he put it on his name. So you know how Jake is in the world. When Jake puts something on his name, Jake ready to die for it. He gonna stand on it. That comes from the heavens. All right. Yahweh Shem Yahweh put their name on us. All right. And them names hold weight. All right. And Yahweh Shah carried the weight. And you know what I'm saying? Now his men are carrying, you know what I'm saying, a semblance of that weight, in our walk, But ultimately, the mission is to get back to Yahweh Shem Shai, the first time around, all right? Because we're going to get there regardless. We Israelites, you're going to get there, but we don't want to die to get there, all right? At least not an unworthy death, all right? Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints, all right? We don't want to die no unworthy death, all right? Die the death of a heathen, a 2/3, a nigga. Nah, we got to die. We want it to be, all right, for righteousness' sakes, for a crown, all right? Not a curse and a punishment. You know what I'm saying? So let me continue on. Verse 30, take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Oh, man, and this is all the spirit, all right? I ain't had none of this drawn up. I hadn't read this chapter through and through in a long time neither. It was just spiritual freestyle, bro. But the Lord had to go this way, and it's amazing. Thwadi, how about Shema Shai? Verse 31, miserable are they that afflict thee and rejoice at thy fall. That's all these nations, all right? All these nations have afflicted Jacob. They all had a part in our spoil. You know what I'm saying? Just read Psalms 83. They were confederate together against thee, all right? And they all going to be in slavery together against us, all right? It's just that Esau is the worst of the worst. All these other nations gonna get some mercy from the Lord after they serve they 1,000 years and get to go back to their land and practice what's been beat and taught into them. All right, yeah. And if they do well, they do right, they'll get blessings. All right, and if not, they get curses. But Esau, you get the pit, buddy. You get mama's red sauce leaking out your head, buddy. You get burned up. All right, and what the Lord does with them spirits, we'll see. All right, verse 32, miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy sons, all right? America is the biggest, where the bulk of the biggest Israelites reside, all right? Jeremiah 50 and verse 33 tell you this is the land where the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom were oppressed together, and all that held them captive refused to let them go, all right? So look at what's going down over here in this land now, you know what I'm saying? It's a sack on the northern kingdom, all right? The ice raids and shit, all right? Niggas is fucking sitting back watching like they in the clear. Hey, we right here. Verse, 33? For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved of her own desolation. All right, you Edomites. All right, Lamentations 4 and 21. You know what I'm saying? It says the accomplishment of thy punishment is I'll read it in just a minute. Basically, it's just saying we've completed our captivity, and the Lord ain't gonna put us in captivity no more. But He gonna discover Esau's sins, and they going into captivity. All right. Verse 34. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. All right, you Edomites is going down. Verse 35. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time, because America is never going to be inhabited by human life again. This place is going to be a desert. All right, they tell you all about that in Isaiah, 13? Yeah, Isaiah 13, toward the end. All right, and the Lord is going to burn these devils up. He going to burn them up out of this land first, and then He going to turn this place to a desert. Verse 36, O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from Yahweh Shai power. Verse 37, lo, thy sons come, whom thou sendest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahweh Shai power. All right. So this was just some, again, I just got out of work, and this was just what the Spirit had me to, read and expound upon, and Lord willing, it was edifying, made sense, flowed together. But yeah, we right here. All right, Esau ain't got much to do. All right, you know what I'm saying? The devil is already, showing his horns. All right, all he got left to do really is the Lord got to make him bring that charagma out. All right, and that's it, Jacob's trouble is here. All right, the seditions of men is here. All right, the battle in the Middle East is ramping up, so ain't a lot of time left. And then also, America turns 250 years old next year, and the average reign of a kingdom is 250 years. So right here, all honor, glory, and praise go to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodesh. Double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops, and the elders of the great millstone who teach and learn this 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, Kwame Yasharala, and the Bible Ball. Shalom.